Today it's a great pleasure to welcome Altrincham's first signing for the 2024-25 season, Lucas Weaver. Welcome to Altrincham Football Club, Lucas, and you're coming here with a big reputation because you've had the most stunning season at Colne.
Yeah, thank you very much. Delighted to be here, and yeah, as you said, a very successful season for myself last year, which I'm just hoping to progress from coming into Altrincham this season.
42 goals in 43 games is remarkable in any league, but you're not a striker, you're a winger.
Yeah, well, I mean, the numbers for myself do stand out. Obviously, they look towards maybe a striker, but playing on the flank this last season, I was sort of given a licence to sort of showcase what I can do off the flanks, but maybe come inside a bit and get on the end of crosses and sort of peter inside. But for me to have that many goals this last season was perfect, and I just can't wait to get out next season and show the Alty fans what I can do and hopefully score a few more. 34
league goals in those 42 goals throughout the season. That put you 4 ahead of your nearest challenger. So again, really eye-catching stats, and that must have attracted a lot of interest from the sort of mid-season point.
Yeah, coming to the mid-season was the sort of a sticky one because there was obviously plenty of interest early on in the season, but obviously, like has been said in the article, I did stick it out with Colne to the end of the season. That was always on my mind. I was never thinking to sort of leave mid-season at the start of the season. I was just focusing on Colne, and to end up winning the cup at the end of the season was just the perfect way to end my time at Colne.
Phenomenal, really eye-catching results. Bamber Bridge 2-0 up at half-time, and Colne have scored 5 in the second half, won by 5 goals to 2. Bamber Bridge, Northern Premier League, Premier Division, 2 divisions ahead of Colne. So those Brig fans must have been pretty stunned on the night.
Yeah, well, I think going in at 2-0 up, they were at half-time. I think they seemed pretty confident. The way the fans were going on about it going into the half-time. But as a team last season, that was one thing we had. We had a lot of fight. We didn't really give in, and that showed in the final, coming up and scoring 5 goals. I don't think they expected it, and when we got the one early in the first minute of the second half, it really set the tone, and from there we just kicked on, and yeah, I was thankful to score 2 and help the team lift the trophy.
And tell us about your 2 goals in that game.
Well, the first one was it was off the right hand side. I'd moved inside and let the fullback go around me. He sort of drove into the box and played it back towards the edge of the box, and it was just one touch and then an early shot. Keeper was rooted, really didn't have time to react, and that was obviously the third one, so he put us in the lead, so we had something to hold on to then. And then obviously Bamber Bridge went on the attack quite a lot and left not many bodies back, and then the second one was just a counter attack and one ball into their half. I got onto the end of it and touch and slotted it away.
And the final goal of the game was scored by Billy Hasler-Craig, who had a short spell at Altrincham back in 2016, and also in Phil Parkinson and Neil Sorville's first season at Altrincham. Came on trial, and he's a decent player, is Billy. Yeah,
Billy was great for us last year. Obviously, it was his first season back at Colne after a break, being elsewhere, but yeah, nothing but praise to say about Billy Hasler-Craig. Great player and a great friend now.
And tell us about your attributes. What sort of winger are you?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, I've always had that raw pace, which is obviously a frightening thing for defenders, as you hear a lot of them say. But just a very direct, pacey, strong, not much fear about anyone who I come up against. Just want to show how good I am and attack defences and score goals. So what to expect? I'm just that raw player that you want on a team who can just run and hopefully score many goals for this great club.
And you're at Colne for 2 seasons. Tell us about your football career right from school days up until joining Colne.
Well, since I was 7 years old, I was at Preston North End Academy. I was there all the way up until under 16s and was unfortunately not given a scholarship, which was a real blow for me, really. It took a knock on my confidence as a 16-year-old lad, thinking that I was going to be a professional footballer from 16, 17, 18 years old. However, it didn't work that way. Then I moved straight into focusing on my studies. I went to college, did play football at college. It was at Myesco College, where it was like a sport football course, really. So I carried on playing football, even though I wasn't at the highest point confidence-wise. But it was all I ever known, so I just wanted to carry on playing football. And then from there, I joined Forward Amateurs, a local team in Preston. And obviously, having speaking with the manager there, I moved through from under 18s up to the first team, and had a really good season in my first season of the first team. And that's what got me the move to Colne. And from there, a difficult season the season before, my first season at Colne. That was a pretty in and out season, really, because it was my first real test at semi-pro level. But then coming into the season just gone was the real step up for me, and where I really showed how good I am and the qualities I have, and the numbers showed that.
And Colne's a really good football club. It's a football town and really good support. And Holt House is a difficult place to go and play for the opposition.
Yeah, the fans since I walked in there have been great. The club itself's a very obviously close-knit sort of family club, and being there really showed me that what non-league football is all about, and how passionate people are about the non-league football and their local clubs. And then obviously at the club, the ground it's a tough place to go. Obviously they've got the little hill, but that's obviously unique to Colne, what they're known for, and I don't think opposition are so keen on having to sort of play up that hill. But then playing on that for 2 years, you obviously have a sort of slight advantage because you know how to play. But yeah, the club as a whole, I couldn't speak highly enough of it. And
North West Counties League Premier Division, it's a really good league, some very good teams in there. Wythenshawe FC won the league, and Wythenshawe Town were promoted through the playoffs, beating Bury in the final. And it's a difficult league to get out of, and I'd expect those two teams to do well in the Northern Premier League West Division next season.
Yeah, well, them two teams that you've mentioned were obviously really good last season. They played some good football, and deservedly so got promoted. But with there being 24 teams in the division, it was a very tough league, and obviously only 2 getting promoted to get out is a tough ask, and fair play to them to manage to get over the line. So why Altrincham? Clearly, with the stats that you've produced, amazing season, very, very eye-catching number of goals. There must have been a lot of interest in you. So why did you decide to join Altrincham? Well, Altrincham, from what I've seen, what I've read and spoken to people about, from when the interest first came in, when I heard about it, I was over the moon. Obviously, a full-time club, which is what I've always wanted. And also the club itself, having spoken to the gaffer, the way they play, the way the gaffer wants to have these quick, fast wingers in his team, it was all ticking all the boxes. And for me, having spoken to the gaffer and being around the training ground, being in before, I just felt at home straight away, and it was sort of a perfect match for me and what I wanted to do in my career going forward, and it was the perfect move for me. I just can't wait to get out and play. And having seen what the manager's done with young players like myself, looking at the likes of standout. Obviously, Chris Clark last season. It just makes me think like, you know, that's what I want to be doing. I want to be picking up them numbers next season. I want to have the effect on the team like people like Chris have had, and to be able to come in and do this at Alty is perfect for me, and I just can't wait to get going.
And you, of course, are going to go through the same transition process that the club went through 2 years ago, because you're going from semi-pro to professional football, and that will have its challenges. But it seems like you've got everything organised. Yes,
the switch from semi-pro to full-time will be different. Something that I haven't been used to before, but I'm delighted to be able to make the switch and focus solely on football and being able to produce my best. I think the first couple of months will be different, but obviously that's what is pre-season's for as well. Help me settle in and get my bearings, and then be raring to go for the start of the season.
And you're not coming out of employment, because you're still in full-time education at university. How's that going to work for you?
Well, yes, I'm coming up to my final year in university, my third year. I'm focusing on football. It's now full-time. That's what I'm doing. But I've been granted the opportunity by the university to be able to do university in my own time and get it done alongside my full-time football, which is the perfect opportunity for me. I didn't want to, having 2 years done already, I didn't want to necessarily drop my degree that I'm going to get. So I was delighted in the fact that Altrincham were able to allow that as well, that they understood what I was going through with the university, and then the university as well, to allow me to have the opportunity to do the degree in my own time, but 100% focus on Altrincham.
And you're at Edge Hill University, which is between Southport and Preston, I think.
Yes, yeah, it is. Ormskirk. So from me, not too far, and yeah, it's been a good 2 years so far, but looking to finish next year.
And what have you been up to in the last few weeks? Because clearly it's the off season. We're not in training, but the players have got their own schedules.
Yeah, we obviously I've been in touch with Foxy, and he's given me off-season plans, which have been underway for a couple of weeks now. As soon as the season finished, I went away for a little break on holiday with my girlfriend, so that was really nice. And then straight back to getting back to full fitness again now. Been in the gym, obviously running, on the bike, all sorts of stuff, just to keep ticking over and getting ready for pre-season.
And what do you know about the National League?
From what I've obviously followed the National League for a while now. Some very, very good teams in the very tough league. Obviously you've had the likes of your Wrexhams, Notts Counties, obviously Chesterfield last year, the big sides that are well known in the EFL. Who've obviously gone now, and I've read that this season is going to be a tough one again, very tough, but there's no real big gun, as you would say, like the likes of Wrexham, etc. They've sort of gone up, so it's going to be a very open league, I feel like, but one that us at Alty should be ready to get going and looking to win the league. Obviously,
it's a big step up, step one in the pyramid. From step 5, but it sounds like you're a confident lad. You're clearly very, very quick with a fantastic goal scoring record, and it takes skill and a lot of attributes to score goals at any level. So it bodes well for you for next season.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Excited at the prospects of what's going to happen next season. Obviously, like you say, scoring goals is probably the hardest thing to do in football, and the numbers I produced last year was obviously great for myself, and I just want to build on that and hope to show how good I am in front of the Alty fans and show them what I can do, and hopefully score many goals this coming season and so on.
And I know that the people who've been involved in bringing you to the football club are really excited to get your signature, and really looking forward to what you can produce next season, starting with pre-season, and that's going to be a big period for you.
Yeah, definitely. Pre-season is going to be sort of obviously a good step as well. Obviously, you've got the first game against my old team, Colne in pre-season, and then some really good friendlies lined up for pre-season, for what I've seen, the likes of Bradford and Salford, Warrington Town, etc. So they should be really good tests as well for me and the lads to obviously get up to speed fully and ready and fighting to go for the coming season. So
22 years old, full-time professional footballer for the first time in your career. It's a really exciting time for you.
Yeah, it's all I've worked for my life since I was a young little boy. It's always the dream I had, to be a professional footballer, and now I've got it. I don't want to rest and just be like, yeah, right, I've made it here for professional football. The hard work only starts now, and I can't wait to get going and see how well I can do and produce in front of the fans.